Tonya Hofmann's fabulous. Tonya Hofmann's fabulous. Tonya Hofmann's fabulous, fabulous TV show. Tonya.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're back. We're going to have such an amazing show. We've got Tracy Repchuk in the house. Woo! She's going to be here in just a minute, and I can't wait for you to meet her. She's one of those people that, you know, every time I tell y'all this, but it's so true, I hang around the coolest people ever. And Tracy and I met each other at a conference, and I kind of hung out in the hallway. I was a little bored, I have to admit. And so for me, it's much more fun connecting to people like her and others that I can just sit and talk to, find out what their business is like. And I was amazed what she does. So I can't wait for you to meet her and kind of get the juicy information. What I wanted to give you today for the Tonya's tip time is really, how do you expand yourself? You know, a lot of times what I see for especially small business owners is that they're kind of putting themselves into a little box and they're not expanding. They're not getting out of their box, getting out of their own way. And it's a problem that I see over and over again. I just had a conversation with a lovely lady in New York, and she's like, I think I'm going to have to get a job. I'm like, what? Why? I've been an entrepreneur my whole life since I was 25 and running up on 48 now this month. You know, I'm like, okay, if I can continuously, for myself and my husband, working together, bring in income to support myself and my family, you can too. But it takes action. You've got to get out there. You got to connect with people like Tracy. You've got to hire people. And I know some of you are going, oh, Tonya, I don't have any money. Well, if you have that attitude, you will never have money. You have got to invest in yourself and in your business in order to expand, right? And how can you invite others to invest in you if you don't invest in yourself? It's really a mindset shift. So I want you to start thinking of, oh, I want to go to the public speakers conference that Tracy's going to be the keynote. Yay! We're going to have such a blast. That will be a huge propulsion further, you know, for you to go to that conference. But a lot of you are going to go, I don't have the money. Make it. Go out and sell today, right? So when I have to buy something or invest in something, I say, how am I going to make this money this month? How am I going to make this money this week? So I don't wait. So that's what I want you to start thinking is, I need to make income today. So let me go talk to a stranger. Let me go talk to someone new. Let me go network. Let me go someplace so that I can reach out. And that's why I wanted Tracy to come on today, because she's an expert in the internet and how to kind of reach out to that vastness of the internet and bring people into you. So how are you doing, Tracy?
I'm doing awesome. So excited to be here, Tonya.
Yay! So tell me a little bit about you and kind of your background and what you've gone through in your life, because I'm sure that, you know, like most people, you've not always been this fabulous, but maybe.
Well, you know what's cool is you talked about how you've been an entrepreneur all your life. I'm the exact same. I graduated with a degree in IT at the age of 19. I opened up a software company and moved when the internet was alive in like 1992. I was on the BBS, the CompuServe, AOL, already developing software for all those platforms.
Wow.
And then I started to develop websites back in 1994 and really play with the SEO and the fact that it was like when you branded yourself online, it made a big difference. And that's kind of all what I do today. And so I've literally been, as you say, an entrepreneur, been working side by side with my husband for the last 22 years as he joined my business in 1992. And it has been a blast, but that's not to say, like you say, there hasn't been up and downs.
Exactly. And, it's interesting to me because my daughter is 20. She's going to college and everything. She's like, I just want to get a job like all my friends' parents. They know what's going to happen every single day of their life. I'm like, exactly. I said, how exciting is that? And she can see she is totally not employable because she has our mindset.
Totally. My kids all graduated actually at the age of 16. They completed high school and they're all entrepreneurs in some way, shape, or form, which means they earn their own money now. They did not proceed to college. I said, if you need to go get some sort of skill, we've been buying mentors. That's what we did since the age of 12. We bought them like when one wanted to do eBay or niche research or get into modeling or acting or art or whatever they wanted to do. We just invested in mentors, and you talked about that even. I invest in mentors in myself in an enormous way. And even at our level, sometimes it ekes in our head too, like, oh my God, how can I afford this, right? Like a lady wants 30 grand like a day for me to work with her. And what am I thinking? No, I'm not thinking I don't have it. I'm thinking, how can I get it? What can I sell in the next couple of days to secure this? Because that's what I want.
Exactly. And it's so hard for people to switch that, because they always look at what they don't have versus what they can go out and get, and then also the equalization in their business. You have to invest in your business for it to grow. If you do everything yourself, it's going to look like you do everything yourself.
Yeah. Oh, and that brings me to a website, right? Which is one of the pieces, the branding of a website. I can tell if you have done your own website in minutes, and so can your prospect. And so it becomes such a huge issue because if you do not professionally match, like I met you at an event and you're awesome and I'm like, oh, got to connect with this chick, right? Then I go to your website, I'm like, oh man, is she not professional? Is she not, this is what happens. And when your clients see that, they're like, oh God, I'm not going to invest $5,000 in you because your online image is everything as in it's important as what you and I see each other, in real life.
And don't you find too, one of the problems that I have when people get into the speaking world, right, and they go after a target market that doesn't even fit their personality. So they've got this, maybe they're trying to hit corporate and they've never really worked in corporate. So they're trying to make a corporate look, but it doesn't quite gel because it's not who they are, right?
Exactly. Oh, it's so important. And it's funny, before we even start the branding cycle, one step back is who's your target market. One step back before that is who are you? Yeah. Like you just said, right? Because if somebody, I often find that somebody always wants to do a complete reverse to who they are, right?
Yeah.
They want to, like, I've been in real estate and I don't want to do anything with real estate and blah, blah, blah. And now I'm going to be a speaker. Well, honestly, then leverage your knowledge in real estate. Let's go sales, or let's go meet, the overcoming fears, overcoming confidence, because there's always this element to who you were that's critical for your target market. And that's why it's so important to select a good target market. You're right, because if you have not been in corporate, you can't walk in there because you have no story to connect.
Exactly.
I mean, And so it's just so important.
And don't you find too, is for me, people are like, okay, I want to be Tony Robbins. I want to be Tracy Repchuk. I want to be, and it's so odd to me that people don't look at how fabulous they are and then emphasize it. Right?
Right.
I remember when I first started speaking, I went and spoke at an event and a lady came up, she goes, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. I want to be just like you. And I'm like, I didn't think anything about it. Literally a week later, I saw a whole picture of her on Facebook. And it was me. She had done her hair. She went to Chico's and bought the exact same outfit.
Oh my God.
What?
That's scary.
Well, you know. But she doesn't know how to brand herself because she just thought that that's what it meant to be, fabulous or whatever, instead of just saying this is who she is and how do you emphasize her own personality.
Yeah, and here's the number one reason why people have a problem with that. It's too hard to do yourself. It's the reason you come to a brander. It's a reason that you come to somebody who can pull that authentic you out, because you're so close to it, you can't come up with your own unique selling proposition, or even, and it sounds ridiculous, it's very hard to develop your own voice, because that just takes a discovery and identification, then a discovery of how to implement who you are authentically into your presentation, into your online presence, into your life, because we are taught so many times to emulate and things of that nature.
Do you find too that, for us, when we're looking at, the speaking world or any small business, really, you have to, what are the words that what are going to resonate with others that are like you, right? Because a lot of times we attract those that are opposite of us. And then we wonder why we can't communicate with our own people on our newsletters and social media, because they can't quite understand what we're talking about. So we've been attracting the wrong people. How do you help people kind of figure out that kind of problem?
Yeah, and that goes back to the sequencing of everything. A lot of times somebody will just say, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be a speaker. They throw up a website and they say, great, doors are open. And the thing that they have to step back and do is we need to craft your message and we need to craft your unique selling proposition. When you have those two as the thread that goes through your entire online presence, through your offline media, through your brochures, through your speaker sheets, through everything you say on social media, then it becomes very clear to them and the audience, right? And here's what starts to happen is somebody will say, and I could end up in that same boat. I could say, I'm an internet marketer. I can do website SEO. I can show you how to do this. I can, do membership sites. There's so much I could do for you. But the thing is, when you think with that and you don't niche it down, then your languaging can't match who you're talking to, and this is where your messaging collapses. So for example, I'm primarily women 45 year and old and up who do not want to handle their own technology, who have a special skill, and they're a catalyst, a change agent, somebody with a voice that wants to make a change in the world. And I will do their entire online presence. I'll manage it, build it, brand them, and support them for a whole year with consulting and masterminding. And they need that. Somebody needs that. And because they don't know, they're saying, I'm this in one arena, I'm that in another arena, I'm this over here, I'm reaching relationships, health, mental, and it all collapses.
Yes. And I find too that a lot of times people will just go hire a website person, and it could be their nephew or the person in the networking group, and then they wonder why their website doesn't do anything for them, their online presence doesn't do anything for them, because that person just knows how to upload a website. They don't know the business and the branding that it takes to make it into you and into marketability, right? And how to attract the right people to you. So it's a technique. It's not just, you're not just buying a phone, right? And the phone is done. You're actually building an entire environment.
Correct. That's it. Like, there's 8 pieces to an online presence, right? And what happens is when you just get somebody to do your website because you need it up, it becomes blind leading the blind. They're sitting there waiting for you to tell them exactly what you want, and you're sitting there waiting for them to tell you what you should give them, and it doesn't work. And what happens in that case is they'll throw something up to get the job done, and it'll be pretty and it'll be interesting and maybe have a couple pieces of rotating banner or something even. But the problem is it says nothing to your exact target market. Every page is handcrafted and should be, to languaging, look, layout, everything. It is truly an art when you're integrating marketing and your brand into everything that you do.
It's always interesting to me because people always ask me my opinion. And I'm always like, all right, but you really got to want to know. Don't ask me for my opinion if you don't want to know. And they'll usually ask me to go look at their website. And I remember going to this gentleman's website, and it was very corporate, very starch looking, because that's where he had come from, right? Mm-hmm. But it was so sad. All the pictures were people kind of upset or, boo-hoo kind of pictures because he was trying to show, get out of this mindset. But the environment of it made me go, ugh, I would never want to hire him. Look how upset everybody is.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah.
And so you don't realize that it's also about the feeling that people get when they go there, And then is it usable? I mean, how many websites have you can't find even how to contact somebody or even how to buy their whatever they're selling.
Yes, exactly. That's the number one thing. Do you know how many buy buttons I find? Like none. All of a sudden somebody will say, oh yeah, here's my product. And then you drop down and you're like, oh, this is cool. And it says contact me. No, that's not going to happen. If you're like under $2,000, put your price on. Just build it up so they get the value. You can have a call me too, but don't be afraid to say what you're worth. If my stuff is over $5,000, then there's the call me. But the stuff that's under that, my God, just pull them in the door. It's like at the checkout counter, right? You want the pack of gum, you want the chocolate bar, just give it to them and let them, and then start the relationship. So there's a big issue. The other one you mentioned too is colors. So here's what somebody does. I like pink and yellow and blue, and so my site is going to be pink and yellow and blue or whatever 3 colors they pick, right? Yes. Here's the thing. Your 3 colors had better be the 3 colors your target market expects, because when they come into your environment, they want to feel comfortable. They want to feel the match. They want to feel that they can identify you. And that happens 100% subliminally. It's not even there yet. So the number of women's sites I go to that are target marketing women, because I'll say, I'll go have a quick peek at your site. Who's your target market? And and as soon as they say my target market is men and women, they're dead in the water already. And then I'll go and look at the site, and the colors already are off. If we don't even address anything else, the colors are wrong.
Yes. People don't realize, I think, if you start to brand yourself and you pick a color that doesn't even resonate with you, they look at, okay, I'm going to pick purple. Okay, great. And it may even fit, maybe they're part of the woo-woo crowd, right? And they, they kind of holistic, and purple really resonates with the crowd, but it doesn't resonate with them at all. You've got to have the match, right? Don't you think that it has to kind of match both you and your audience? Because there's kind of elimination.
Yeah, and it does have to match. And then there are colors that, there's certain shades of green that match well with the holistic field as well. So if that's a better color, and quite frankly, though, if the colors aren't matching now you got to look at, are you in the field you should be? Sometimes people jump into a field because they think that's where the money is, or, especially those jumping into corporate. Corporate's where the money is. I'm going to be blue and red and this, and I'm going to be, and whatever. But it's really, there should be a natural affinity of the color. I mean, quite frankly, though, one of my favorite colors is pink, but it doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit on my site in the big target market way I would like it to. But I'm okay with that. I put little splashes of pink that allow it to play with me and play with my target audience, because I am women professionals, and they don't want to be all the foo-foo colors. So, there is a little bit of give and take. And then here's what you can do. You can brand your body differently than you brand your site. You don't have to, the site's red, white, and blue. You don't have to come out in red, white, and blue outfit every time you speak, right? Then you can now brand. And so I have the outfit that I'm kind of branded in. And it's different than my site, but that's okay because my personality shines with that.
Exactly. And I find too that a lot of people that they look at, this is what I'm supposed to do, right? And then again, it doesn't rise. I remember early on as a speaker, I wanted to have the professional website, and finally one day I'm like, this is awful. It looks nice, but it wasn't me. And so I thought, well, what is me? And the words yippee. So when I have my list on my website on TonyaHoffman.com on every place that I've spoken, well, it's not events or anything boring. It's the yippee list, right? And people love it because that's who I'm attracting. If they don't like it and they're like, well, that's stupid, they're not my target market. And it's not people that I want around me.
Exactly.
But it's a hard transition, I think, for people to be okay that they're different, that they're not matching what the other person did, right?
Yeah. Well, I made that mistake as a speaker when I started 9 years ago. And I was on like the world's largest stages. I was in 35 countries on the World Internet Summit stage. 11 men in me. That was our circuit. And so what did I try to do? I tried to look like a man. I wore a suit. I was dark, the works, because every man that went on that stage was in a suit. And I realized kind of for the first, oh my God, I don't know how long, that I was completely countering what they wanted, what the audience wanted. They wanted to see a woman. They wanted a softness. They wanted somebody who was completely and utterly different. But I made the mistake of trying to be, because they were the big sellers, right? They were just crushing it. And I thought, in order to crush it, I have to be like a man. And so my languaging was like a man, my outfit was like a man, and it was not me, and it was coming through. And then as soon as I changed it, again, found my authentic voice, found the look that I was comfortable going on stage with, found me and my unique message, then everything changed.
Totally, for me too, and I think it's too, one of the hardest things for women is I want everyone to like me factor. And I think that resonates in everything that they do for branding and everything. I want everybody to like me. I want everyone to hire me, versus I want this niche of people that I resonate with. And it's a hard transition for most people to go through.
It is, and it's a learning. It's really a learning thing, and there's so many steps, especially when you're a speaker, of what you learn and go through, and trial and error. I can say 3 things though. 1, make your site look smoking hot. It's just going to need to be that, because the competition in the speaker world is huge, and so you have to rise above that competition. You have to professionally match in order to kind of resonate and reach millions, because they'll look at 10 resumes to select somebody, and it'll be site. They'll go look at all 10 sites as well. And so it's just important to understand and invest, as you said, in that part of your marketing, because it's easy conceptual to be a speaker. I can go on stage, or I can put together a resume, and I can submit for a speaking gig. But the back engine that makes you a speaker is quite big, and that's why we have associations like yours to assist in the facilitation and understanding that this is a huge game we're playing. And honestly, we have the ability to be the biggest players on the planet by being speakers that we are. Like I said, last year alone, I reached 20 million people. I mean, and that's the power that we carry. And when we underestimate, 1, that power, or 2, undervalue in our investment that we need to propel us to that stage level, it starts to collapse.
Love it. So I know you have an amazing offer that you're giving everyone today. What is that?
Well, I have this free guide that I'm giving to your guys, and it's called, how your websites, your brand, and your social media work together. It's a real great conceptual understanding for all the pieces that you need to play this game online, and then you can get that at fastactionresults.com and connect with me. Just go on my page and ask me questions. I'm going to be at I'm speaking at the conference. Make sure you approach and talk to me there, and make sure, 1, you come. Really, if you can't invest in yourself as a speaker by attending conferences you need to be at, we need to take a fast look at what do you really want.
Yeah, and it's amazing, at the Public Speakers Conference last year, the amount of movement. I had one lady that she was always like, well, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. At the conference, she got booked for a keynote and she goes, I am going to make myself ready. So a lot of times it's about movement to force yourself, especially if you're in that comfort zone and it really is hard for you to get out of that comfort zone, is to make yourself do something that is completely out of character for you. So if you're just kind of sitting at home and just waiting for things to happen, push yourself. Come to our conference. Tracy and all the other speakers, they're there to help you. So they're not only going to be training you on real information that you can walk away with, but they're going to be there to answer questions and get to know. That's the exciting part. Go have margaritas and Mexican food together. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, honestly, I have the answers to, and I can really help them. How did I get booked in 35 countries? How did I win, new internet marketing success of the year? How did I get picked up by Wiley Publishing? How did I get picked up by a New York, top literary agent? I have all these answers for them, and I want them to come to the event and get them from me, because I am so willing to share at any time how I, got as successful as I am.
Yay!
Yeah.
So everyone, please take advantage of our offer. You do not want to miss that. It's a great, just think about it, and it's free, right?
Yeah.
So what was the website?
FastActionResults.com.
Fast Action Results. So make sure you go there right now. Well, okay, in a few seconds. And then we want you to be at the conference. So I'm going to give you a special coupon code so that you can get $100 off. So do not let this pass. So use the coupon code Tonya's TV Show and you get $100 off. So go to Public Speakers with an S conference.com. You'll see Tracy there and what she's speaking about. You'll see all the amazing trainings that you're going to be getting and all the great information. It's a very affordable hotel to stay in. We do also pair people up if you need to, have a roomie. That's no problem. So get connected, get there, have some fun, meet Tracy, meet me, and let's get to know you. So I'm so excited. Tracy, I definitely want you to come back on my show soon.
Yay, I'd love to do that.
Perfect. All right, everyone. You have a fantastic rest of your day. Enjoy. Listen to this again. I know that this is going to have some sinking in moments. So go back and watch this show again. And we can't wait to see you June 14th through the 17th in San Antonio, Texas at the Public Speakers Conference. Bye. Bye, Tracy.